Good evening, folks. Tim Davis coming to you guys with a midweek VIX watch. Again, this is a midweek VIX watch after such a interesting press conference today by the Fed and in their rate hike decision and their forward guidance. They did not get forward guidance. They're going to continue to be data dependent. So they're going to continue to monitor the data, and each meeting, anything can be expected. So in other words, they're going to monitor the data between now and September's meeting, and move according to the data. So they left any and everything on the table over the next couple of months. So with that said, inflation is still not in control yet. I mean, not controlled yet, and we still got some a lot more data that's going to come out between now and September. So could the Fed continue to hike rates even further down the road? That's a very possibility, folks. So all they did today was just prolong what they're probably going to end up doing anyway, because inflation is still not controlled yet. So that was good news for the markets, for them not, setting any type of forward guidance, or not setting any type of set plan as far as what they're going to do for the next meeting. They said they're going to continue to be data dependent. So the markets kind of rallied on that, rallied in a big way. So with the market still rallying, you would think that the VIX would really unravel and start to head back down to the mid to low teens. Look where the VIX finished today, right back at the upward lower trend line. So all that rally, VIX did not give up much of anything. Back to the bottom of the trend line. So we've been in this cycle, folks, for quite some time. So now we have to see what happens after the day after the Fed meet, and weeks after the Fed meeting. And keep in mind, there's no Fed meeting in August. I think the only thing they have in August is I think Federal Reserve Jerome Powell would be at the annual symposium that they do, Jackson Hole. I think he'll be speaking at the Jackson Hole event that they do every year, but no Fed meeting until September. So between now and September, all we have is the data that unfolds, and there'll be a lot more data coming out between now and September. There'll be another CPI report. There'll be a more GDP report. There's a GDP report tomorrow. So maybe is that the reason why the VIX is still just hovering right around this level of support, since the Fed, they said they're going to be data dependent. Let's see what happens with GDP tomorrow. If that's an ugly number, I would expect to see the VIX start to get off of that support level. So we have to see what happens, but we are right back at a level of support on the VIX, and we are still holding that support strong. There was some disappointing earnings this evening with Meta, with Qualcomm. So tomorrow could be a little rough there, especially if the GDP numbers are not so good. So there's something to pay close attention to as we go through the rest of this week and the rest of the summer with no Fed meeting in August. They're going to be data dependent. I think that's just so hilarious, but we got to see what happens between now and September. But again, the VIX, excuse me, folks, the VIX doesn't seem to be unraveled just yet. Until the VIX really starts to fall out of bed, drop way below 20, this bear market is still going to be lurking around, waiting for that next VIX spike. And once the VIX spikes, we're going to start to see big drawdowns in the market. So that's something to pay close attention to after such a big, powerful Fed rally. The VIX didn't budge. So in order for that rally to continue, the bulls to show more strength, it's the market is going to have to show follow through the rest of this week and through next week with some big moves ups, and find a way to push this VIX back down below 20 in a major way. So let's see what happens as we get the GDP numbers out tomorrow, and also more earnings out tomorrow. I think also Apple reports tomorrow, and we already see what happened with Meta in after hours and Qualcomm in after hours. So let's see how things play out for the rest of this week. And once that VIX, I'm telling you folks, if for some reason that VIX finally spikes above 30, the markets are going to be in big trouble. So pay close attention to that. If VIX ever find a way to get a good sustainable bounce off of this level of support, pop back above 30, the markets could be in trouble for this summer with no Fed meeting until September. All right, that is biggest thing I wanted to just point out is to show you guys what the VIX is doing and what to pay attention to tomorrow. GDP comes out at 8:30. Also, Janet Yellen's going to be speaking at 8:30. So there's some market movement events that's going to happen tomorrow as well as Apple earnings, I think, tomorrow evening. On that note, look at some of these. Look at the commodity. Look at gold and silver, folks. Anybody notice what gold and silver has been doing over the past couple of days? It's been trying to find support. Here is a look at a daily chart of a 1-year daily chart of gold back down to a level of support, and it looks like it's starting to trying to make that turn to go up. Is that the result of possible some bad GDP numbers coming up and signs that inflation is not getting any better, that it's going to be getting worse? An inflationary environment could really cause, if there's going to be a longer term sustainable inflationary environment, it could be the catalyst to find a way for gold to start to really start to rally. If we're going to, if the markets are convinced that we're going to have a continued longer term inflationary environment, gold could find a way to bounce off of this level of support. Because we was at around 1700. Now, during the middle of this evening, we're already at 1750. So gold could be on its way back up. Keep an eye on that. Take a look at silver as well. Right back at a level of support. And silver could be on its way up. So pay attention to gold, silver, and the VIX as we end this week and see how things pan out with the rest of the earnings that are reporting and the GDP numbers that are coming out on tomorrow morning. All right, folks, just wanted to share that quick video with you. Again, this is a VIX Watch. Pay attention to what's going on with the VIX and these commodities as we go through the rest of this week, with such a big rally after the Fed meeting yesterday, and considering we've already been in a nice bull rally within this bear market, and the Fed has come right through with a cherry on top just to push it up big time in a big way on yesterday. Is that sustainable? We got to see that VIX drop well below 20. After such a big rally, and the VIX didn't drop well below 20. The next couple of days of this week could be rough. So pay close attention to that, folks, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. And I'll be back with a serious update if anything big happens over the next 2 days.